Yes, bonjour, welcome back. Leading up to the AGM and elections last week, Sascoc was divided into factions, with federations disagreeing on what should happen and the way forward. The AGM has come and gone, and what we're trying to find out this afternoon is whether those are long-lasting disagreements between members, or are they long-lasting? Well, will there still be fault lines at a time when we should be preparing for next year's Olympic Games? And what about the relationship between Sascoc and Cricket South Africa, or other member federations for that matter? Of course, to help me make sense of that, I'm joined by Ntambi Ravele. Thanks for staying with us, Ntambi. As I just mentioned there, Cricket South Africa have done away with the interim board. Isn't that more added pressure now for Sascoc because they've got to control that situation?
It's true because of, again, in their pot of issues that they have to deal with, Cricket South Africa. And it's not only Cricket South Africa. A lot of federations are having problems. Issues of governance, issues of transformation, there are a lot of problems. So the issue of cricket is just adding on. And unfortunately for cricket, it's there for us to see because of they are mostly on television. A lot of federations, those federations that voted for Barry, we are not we are not seeing what is happening in their federations because of them actually not on media, mostly on media.
Yes.
And I think possibly part of your duties is to go investigate more on those federations.
I'm wondering why 74 out of the 85 did go ahead and say, yes, we're saying Barry Hendricks is the man to lead us. Because I find it quite interesting that the problem is at the top. There's tensions between board members, but that's interfering with the running of the organization on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So it does trickle down to the lowest level in every space.
It does because of, again, Sascoc doesn't have a CEO. They are running an organization with an acting CEO who came in, I think, from auditing and finance somewhere, and he didn't know anything about sports, and they put him in that position. He's not the person now who could actually lead the organization to any heights.
Yes.
So the point is, one is that they don't only have problems in the board, they also have problems in management. And except for that, the other problem that very soon will be coming up is about athletes.
If Sascoc are the ones that are also involved in deciding who the independent committee is, isn't there also something wrong with that?
That's a conflict of interest, and it would be interesting to see what's going to happen with that issue. It's one of the issues that we have to monitor.
Yeah, definitely one of the issues that needs to be monitored. You're obviously watching Inside Sports, and I'll be so grateful to hear what your comments are on this situation as we chat, of course, about the state of Sascoc. Now, ma'am, how long do you just see this problem lasting? Because that also will tell us just how long we would be having these after effects.
I don't know how long it would last. I'm just waiting to hear what the board will come up with, if ever they would come up with a strategy to take Sascoc forward. And I think at that time we will be able to say whether it will work or not work.
What are your thoughts on the fact that there were 30 Sascoc members who were obviously going for the 8 positions that were available, 30 of them? Is that not already just a sign that we need new direction and new leadership?
You are quite correct, because of some of them were standing for all positions. We're standing from president to a board member. And that's why I'm saying the criteria need to be revisited. And we have to also, again, to revisit as to how do federations nominate? Because of we wouldn't be having the issue of user if ever there were clear-cut criteria on how people should be nominated and elected.
Sascoc has clearly lost its power. It cannot make its federations yield.
No.
But where is the root cause of all of this?
Actually, before that, one thing that I'm definitely sure of, it will be difficult for Sascoc moving forward to discipline any member if they fail to discipline their own president.
Wow. And how do they do that?
I don't know how are they going to handle other federations, because of if they fail to discipline Barry, they shouldn't expect to discipline any other member. I mean, I still have a case of Tennis South Africa where the president also, instead of going to DC, they actually agreed on actually having a discussion with him and put him back, and they wanted to do that with me. And because of I didn't believe that that was the right way to do, because of our members, when they do something wrong, they have to go through DC. So all of us, even if you are a president or you are a board member, if you have done something wrong, you need to go through the same procedure that you expect your members to go.
Can you just briefly describe the process of what that would be, especially because of what the Constitution says when such unethical actions are taken?
The issue is one is that they have to, actually one of the issues that I just realized now of late was that even the Constitution didn't say what happens when the president does something wrong. And I think that's where, again, people need to revisit the Constitution, because of anyone in an organization can do something wrong. So we need to go through DC. So now they are saying they should appoint an independent committee. Yes. My question now, where I'm sitting, is that who will appoint that committee? Because if it's elected by the board, the chairman of the board is the one that needs to be disciplined. So how do you deal with it? It will be quite interesting. And even if he moves out of the meeting, when they appoint the acting president, who would be the vice chair, you won't expect, I mean, these people are a team. You don't expect them to be honest and fair to the process. And I think part of the process that should happen is that independent committee must be selected possibly by one of the subcommittees.
Well, must be selected by one of the subcommittees. That's Ntambi Ravele's statement, I beg your pardon, on Sascoc and the leadership and the way forward and sports resuming in the country and how things can get better. Well, we've run out of time, but we're going to finish off with the last segment of Inside Sport shortly.